Hi, hello. Welcome to today's analysis of Uchi Technologies. So, this stock has been running up quite well, a lot since August 2017, and then it kind of topped out by late 2017. Okay, one of the things that I do not quite like about this stock is that it has dropped below the 50 MA. Now, usually a very nice trending up stock will be above its rising 200 MA and also the rising 50 MA. And for this stock, it had a really nice run up because it was above the rising 20 MA until here, where it dropped below here. So what this tells us is this stock has already gone below the 20 MA and is now trading below the 50 MA. It tells that the short term and mid term health of the stock is not very good, which is why I say the nice trending up period for this stock is over, and now we can say that this stock is actually just trying to meander around. But what is good is the stock is still trading above its rising 200 MA. Let's take a look at the weekly chart of Uchi. Okay, take a look at yes. Now the reason why the stock top out and then decline in the daily chart is because, as you can see, it shot up and hit a resistance area. Sometimes it's very important for us to look at longer term charts, because when the stock keeps running up, and if there is resistance overhead in long term charts like the weekly charts or the monthly charts, right, it will often tell us that it's time to sell. It's time to sell the stock, especially when there's so much resistance here. It needs to be absorbed, because imagine the people who bought a lot of this stock right back in 2007, right? If they right here they are losing so many hundreds of thousands or millions, by the time you reach back here, what do they do usually, right? They are not losing that much money anymore, so they might as well sell it to recoup their losses. So this explains why the stock topped out and go down. Now, right now we do not know whether the stock will start and will continue to go down, because it made a low here, right? It found support near the 200 MA. It bounced up and it go down, and now it's kind of about to meet the 200 MA. Now what we can do expect is, if this stock can find support at the 200 MA and continue to move back up, it might start a new uptrend. But until now, it hasn't bounced back up yet, so we don't want to enter too prematurely in the stock. We can draw a trend line here. Now, one of the ways to determine whether the current downtrend will turn into uptrend is to see whether the stock can break above this downtrend line I have drawn. Trend lines are simple tools, but actually they work very, very well to tell us when a trend of the stock has. And for example, let's take this one here. I can draw an uptrend line here. Okay, you see, when you draw trend lines, you try to connect as many highs as possible if it's a downtrend line, or connect as many lows as possible if it's a uptrend line. So you can see the stock broke below an uptrend line and subsequently broke below the 20 MA and 50 MA. This told investors and traders that they should sell this stock, coupled with the fact that the stock is reached a resistance area in the monthly chart. And this M means monthly chart, and the stock was ripe for selling. Now at this moment, the rising 200 MA still tells us that the long-term health of this stock is healthy, but the 50 MA, the stock is below the 50 MA. So this tells us that mid-term is not very healthy. So when you combine all these analysis the health of the long-term health and mid-term health of the stock. It shows us that the stock is trying, it is neutral right now, is trying to end this current downtrend that started here and trying to start a new uptrend. So at this moment, if you want the bottom fish, it might be a bit dicey. What usually we want to see is for the 200 MA to hold, and then for it to trade back up above the trend line, and hopefully it goes up more. Let me just switch to the 60 minute to gauge the really short-term trend. Okay, this is the 60-minute chart. Now usually when the stock is below the 60-minute 50 MA, it's not a good idea to long this stock. You can see when it falls below the 50 MA, the 50 MA is this this blue line, the blue line here. Okay, this is a 60-minute chart. It fell below the 50 MA, and look, it went all the way down, but when after that it went back up, it could go up for a few weeks. Right now it's still below the 50 MA, and it's not a good idea to long this stock as long as it's below the 60-minute 50 MA. This is just a simple trend following tool, and sometimes it works out really well for us to catch the move of the stock. So I hope this analysis has been helpful. Give me a thumbs up if it's helpful, and do subscribe for more analysis like this in the future.